Ladies and gentlemen, there's something about this girl, man. From around my way. Ever try to hold back your feelings, but it just wouldn't say. But when I finally found the words to say, I wanted to.
Hello, everybody. So today's topic is going to be centered around life after a loss. So it is currently July, and there's just a lot of important dates for me and my family in July. Birthdays of loved ones we've lost, anniversaries, death anniversaries of loved ones we've lost. And I don't think that people really understand the toll that it takes on the people that are left here, after the funeral, after everything is over with. I just don't think that people understand how the loss affects the close loved ones of the deceased. And it kind of changes who you are as a person. It changes how you move. It changes your mood swings. It changes the anxiety triggers. Like, I don't think that people really understand or are sensitive to the reality of dealing with that, So I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, and while I put my skincare stuff on. And so having had more close deaths than I really knew that I would be able to handle, I think that this is something that I have wanted to talk about for a long time. And so I'm turning my camera on today, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit. We're gonna point out some important things that people may or may not know, and try to bring some awareness so that the people that are struggling can get some help. The people that are struggling can be supported by their families. The people that are struggling can be heard. So the first thing is, when someone that's close to you loses someone close to them, and they tell you, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm okay. They may think that they are, but that doesn't mean to just drop off. I know that we appear to be strong and the strong one and the strong friend and all these things, but there's different periods of time where one day you may be fine and the next day you just may not be fine. Sometimes I have moments about my dad that I lost 21 years ago, and I'm struggling now that I've had a child more than I was pre-baby, which is weird to me because, they say with time, it's supposed to get better, and it the pain lightens, but your healing is forever. There is not a time where you just are healed from losing a loved one that was very close to you. Especially if it's an everyday person. If it's somebody that you talk to every day, it's somebody that you have included in your daily routine of things to do, it's a struggle every day. It's a struggle every month. It's a struggle. You do have some days where you don't think about it as much, but I don't think that people really grasp the concept, especially if they've never lost anyone close to them. And another thing that I want to say about that is the people that have not experienced what you've experienced may not know how to comfort you, how to be there for you, and you have to also give them grace because they don't understand. You have to give them grace for not understanding. I struggled with that for a long time because I've lost a lot of people in my life, and in the beginning it's like, how come you don't know that I'm struggling? But the people don't know because they've never experienced it. The only thing they could do is what they know to do, and that's to do the best they can to try to support you. But just because I'm not talking about it every day, just because I'm not posting it every day, just because I appear to be okay, doesn't mean that I'm okay. Doesn't mean that they're okay, you know. And I think that a couple things that you could do is just randomly check on them, randomly do something that you know the person that they lost would normally do for them. Send flowers, send a check-in text. Even if you don't have time to talk, everybody's busy, everybody have their own lives going on, motherhood, partnership, wives, husbands, I get it. But take a minute to just send a text. Say, I was just thinking about you, I didn't want nothing. Because sometimes the person that's mourning doesn't know how to express that I'm tired, I'm stressed, I am sick, I am emotional, I am tired of dealing with this stuff on my own. And so sometimes it just takes being able to know that you have somebody that you can depend on if in the event you are strong enough or tired enough to say, I need you, I need help, I need something, you know. And so a lot of times we are suggesting that, well, maybe you should go to therapy, maybe you should say that you need help and stop acting like you don't. You know, we're saying these things, but they are not easy things to do, especially if you don't have the resources to get therapy, if you don't have insurance to go to therapy on a regular basis. There are resources out there, but you have to be willing to accept the fact that you need those resources so that you can take the time to go and seek them out and look for them. That is tricky. I lost my dad 21 years ago. I also lost his sister, my aunt that raised me, 6 or 7 weeks after the passing of my dad. I was in the 4th grade. I've been dealing with death since I was in the 4th grade. Close people to me, everyday people that are supposed to be with me today, people that I need with me to help me raise my son. And so I think that we don't talk about it enough. I think that we don't support our family members enough. I think that it's real. And so my message today, after having lost almost 10 close people to me, almost 10, if I'm not mistaken. My message is, if you're thinking about someone, if you think that they need someone, then be the someone. Be the someone. You don't need an invitation to be the someone. Reach out. And this message is also for me. I have some people that need my support. Although I'm dealing with my own stuff, we all are. And so it's very important for us to be there for each other. Family, friends, whoever, okay? And think about that anxiety. That anxiety will put a person in a dark place. It really will put a person in a dark place. And I don't think that sometimes people understand that that's where they are. Some people don't know until they're out of the dark place that they were in a dark place. And so it's up to the immediate friends, family to acknowledge that this person is acting weird. To acknowledge that this person is acting different. They're distant. They are not being themselves. And what's the cause of that? Do you have to figure out what the cause is? No. Do you have to have all the answers? No. All you have to do is pick up the phone. All you have to do is send a text. That's it. That's all you have to do. And so I want to encourage someone today to reach out to that person that you've been thinking about. Reach out to that person that has recently lost a loved one. Whenever. Where an anniversary has passed for a loved one that they lost 10 years ago. It doesn't change because of the years or the time. Pick up the phone. Another thing that people don't talk about when it comes to having a close death is the identity change that you go through when that person was a part of your everyday routine. I lost someone very, very close to me in 2017. And she was a part of my everyday routine. Her, and there were two others, but she was the last one of the 3 golden girls. And I went through a whole couple years where it just kind of was like, well, what? I don't have to call and check on her. I don't have to run, 2 hours away to do her bills for her or check her bank account or pay some bills for her. Or I just, it changed me. It changed what I valued. It changed the time frame that you think that you have to do the things that you want to do. It kind of makes you anxious to move to the next step or the next level, because when you've been experiencing deaths and close deaths since you were a child, the way that you think about life, as far as you don't have forever. Everybody has a date where they pass on. And when you haven't experienced death from the 4th grade to current has changed what I think about time frames, right? And it's also made me have to identity check a couple times. Like, okay, I'm no longer a caregiver, and I've been a caregiver for a lot of my life. And so having gone from a caregiver of 3 elderly women to all of them being deceased from 2011 to 2017, that's not a long period of time. So I'm constantly going through this mourning, this identity change, this, okay, from 3 to 2, from 2 to 1. And it wasn't like they were, at the time, weekend aunts and grandparents. I lived with them. And then when I graduated, I moved out, but I still tended to them. And so nobody really talks about how you go through, well, what am I supposed to be doing now? Who am I really? Without, okay, I gotta go to school. When I get out of school, I gotta go check on them. They might need me to go to the grocery store. Let me check and see if they got their medicine out for the week. It's a whole thing that you experience on top of, you're not only mourning a person, you're mourning the old person that you were. And now that you're able to focus on yourself, it feels foreign. It feels unrealistic. It feels like, what am I supposed to be doing with this time? Let me get up and do something. Let me go do this. Let me go do that. And you find yourself in a circle, round and round and round, trying to fix something that's it's really not broken. It's just new, right? And so it's okay to be in that space. You don't have to fill it with anything. Sit and figure out what it is now that you want to do with your new identity. Who do you want to be in the world now? And so I just want people to know that that's normal. It's normal to go through that phase. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a chapter, right? And so having had that heartbreaking loss in 2017, and now it's 2023, I can't tell you between 2017 and 2020 where I was mentally. You know, like, I was present, I was progressing at work. I kind of have always found a way to use work as an outlet to perform and you know, just put my energy and my time into that versus thinking about the reality of what's going on. And you know, I was also taught that you move on, you move forward, you keep pushing, but you still gotta address the stuff. You have to go back and address the stuff, because if you don't address the stuff, then you continue to be in the cycle of hurt instead of rejoicing and thinking about the positive things of what you were able to experience with your loved ones. And so I think that people need to know that they're not alone. People need to know that they are not the only ones experiencing this, right? And so be a voice to the people that you can be a voice to. Be a voice of reason. Be a voice of love, and be a voice of sanity for them, right? And everything else will just flow. You don't need to know what to say. You don't need to know, you don't have to have no lot of money to send them no fancy gifts and all of that. Send a text message. If you got a chance, run over to Sam's Club, get them a $16 bouquet of flowers. They're beautiful. And they'll remember it. They'll cherish those moments. It don't take much, but it does take time. It does take selflessness. And so make it a point to remember the important dates for people that are important to you. Nobody talks about what it feels like to not have your parent or loved one or grandparents available to you when you have a kid. I have experienced so many moments since I gave birth to my baby where I'm just like, all the elders are deceased. All the elders are deceased. All of my dad and majority of his siblings are deceased. They left this earth earlier, way earlier than they were supposed to. Way earlier than they was supposed to. And it's a mind blowing thought to understand that yes, I've learned how to live without them, but my baby is at a disadvantage. My baby is at a disadvantage. Will he have a better life than me? Absolutely. Absolutely. Me, his dad and I are going to see to that. But he won't have the experiences of my family being present and, you know, grandma love and going to grandma's house and going to great grandma's house and great aunties and the golden girls, as we call them. And it's just mind blowing to me. And hurtful, you know, and hurtful. So ultimately, what I just want to put out to my viewers and subscribers and newcomers is we have to get out this selfish mode where we only think about ourselves, where we only have been in survival mode and we only know how to get ourselves up and out. I think that it's something. So as I close this out, if you don't take anything else away from this, those of you that may be watching this that have experienced a loss of a loved one here lately, it will be okay. That person loved you dearly. That person will want you to get up. That person wants you to get up out that bed. That person wants you to live your best life with or without them. And so I love y'all. And if you have something you want to share, please do. If this touched you or you think it would touch somebody that you know, please share it with them. And be encouraged. Be encouraged to get up and do something. Get up and do something even when you don't feel like doing nothing. And when you need to rest. But I know firsthand that anxiety of I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, that, but I'm tired will get the best of you. And unfortunately, you have to get up. You have to get up. And so it'll be all right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.